Let's talk a little bit about the R language, just some basics, right? So, and I'm going to use both Anaconda, Jupyter Notebooks, as well as RStudio. Pretty much the same for both of them. So, math functions, right? 1 plus 2, run equals 3, 5 minus 3, run it, 2, and it's the same thing here, right? Um, inside of RStudio, right? 5 minus 3, even multiplication, division, and power of, right? So 3 power of 3, 27, 3 to the power of 3, 27, oh, sorry, run, right? Okay. All that kind of stuff too. Algebra functions, what have you, all the same. Working with R as well as other languages, right? Strings, same thing, right? So I'm going to jump a little bit ahead. I'm just going to say, I'm going to go ahead and just give it an assignment, right? So the variables are like this, variables, right? So yeah, I'm assigning to code whatever this is. So I put in a quote and I say Dale, right? So if I run it and I type in code and I run it, it says Dale. Strings, again, it works very similar. So if I come in over here and I edit this guy and I say Dale's, it's going to look a little weird inside of Jupyter Notebook. And let me show you. So I'm going to run this guy, and if I do Dale code, it's going to have this breaking character here. Well, actually, it's supposed to look like this. If I come and pick the same code, and I hit the enter key, and I type in code, it's supposed to look just like this, right? Dale's. And I think this is just something to do with Jupyter Notebooks, just FYI. When you assign strings and you want to kind of get that little apostrophe over there, it's supposed to be quotes and stuff like that. You use single quotes, single quotes like this, double quotes, pretty much the same actually, yeah. But it's just, if you have a single quote inside there someplace, you should use double quotes, otherwise around it, yeah. Again, this in Jupyter Notebook with an apostrophe like this, it's a little strange looking. So you just got to kind of keep that in mind. But it does work inside of RStudio, and that's the way it's supposed to work, right? Let me just kind of talk a little bit about assigning. You can go assign to variables. You can name it whatever you want. Pule, whatever, right? You can assign it whatever you want to assign the name to. You can assign it a value. Right, so if I assign it a value and I type in Pupule and I run it, here is 9. If you want to see what it is, you can do something like a class, and you can go and say, what is Pupule? What kind of data is it? It's a numeric. Now, if I change this to, I said Dale, and I ran it, and I did Pupule, it says Dale. Now, if I did class, it changes it to a character, right? So, just kind of get the feel of entering data inside of Jupyter Notebook, as well as inside of RStudio. And, these are just some basic operations of basic ways to go and enter data inside of inside of RStudio and Jupyter Notebook, right? And again, the way that enters right now is just entering data. More on the advanced things over here, we're going to call something called a vector. Now, a vector, Dale's vector, or whatever. Yeah, you can, a vector is essentially, in some languages, they call it an array. right? And your array can be whatever, can be a character, right? Like this, right? Can be character string over here, Dale's vector. When I run it, and I type in Dale's vector, right? Dale's vector, yeah, like this. And if I go and run it, it's ABC. Okay, it could be a number. It could be a number. And again, numerics, unless it's really truly a numeric, you don't put in quotes around it, right? So if I do it this way, Dale's vector is 1, 2, 3, and like this. And if I did a class on Dale's vector, yeah, let's see what it says. Well, it's a numeric now. Yeah. Okay. So that's how you go ahead and just kind of, get the hang a little bit about the data types, numerics, strings, vector operations inside of R. Yeah, so R a little bit different. And as we can see, it's a little bit different inside of RStudio as well. Yeah, it's just, and I can't explain it. I think it has something to do with just the way that Jupyter Notebooks is interpreting strings. Okay, till the next time.